educated everybody about inflation and private banks and the Federal Reserve and globalism, and that the left-right paradigm's a fraud. We need his son in the U.S. Senate, Dr. Rand Paul. Doc, it's good to have you on with us.
Glad to be back with you, Alex.
We're about to break, and some stations join us in the next segment, but are you running? I mean, it looks like you're running.
We're very, very close, and we're going to have a final announcement within 2 weeks. Still putting some things together, having some last-minute discussions with family and friends, and I will only run and make the decision if I think we absolutely have a chance to win. This campaign will not be just about education or protest. We will have not only the money, but the organization, the name recognition, and everything else it takes to win on the ground.
Well, your father ran once for the House and lost, won the second time. So certainly we wanted Ron Paul to win, and certainly we want you to win. But I'm just saying it's win-win either way. Just the battle itself is victory.
Well, particularly in my father's case, it was, because not winning the presidency, he did win the attention, particularly for being right about the housing bubble and predicting that it would come. So now he is the go-to guy. They go to him and they ask him about the Federal Reserve. The overwhelming support, I've never seen anything like it, the co-sponsorships for the Audit the Fed bill. My dad says that it would almost assuredly pass both the House and the Senate if and when they give it a vote, but that's still a pretty big if.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about when we get back. I want your take on what I was discussing, but from your own perspective, how far we've come. I think we need to recognize the victories we've had and realize we're in this fight against the globalists, and where things are going right now in the Senate with them blocking the vote right now to audit the Fed. But as your father said earlier this week or late last week, there's no way they can win. The longer they try to cover up and block this vote, the more people wake up to the fact that they're the problem, not the solution. Dr. Rand Paul is our guest. We'll give you his website. It's up on screen, randpaul2010.com. randpaul2010.com. We'll talk to him coming up, and your phone calls for Dr. Rand Paul at 1-800-259-9231. This is the GCN Radio Network. PrisonPlanet.tv is my site. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. I've told you for a long time it's important to be self-sufficient, and today that's more important than ever. We need to be independent, and food and water is the key. You'll never have to stand in a bread line if you have your own bread. You'll never have to go to the Superdome and beg for FEMA to take care of your family in any emergency if you simply prepare. No one is going to take care of your family in the final equation but you. You know eFoodsDirect.com is still able to ship storable food that's safe from E. coli, salmonella, genetic alteration, or Chinese imports. And they do it at almost half the cost of last year's grocery prices. Call 1-800-409-5633. Or on the web, go to eFoodsDirect.com. Visit eFoodsDirect.com and look over the fine list of high-quality, freeze-dried, and dehydrated foods they have to offer. Watch the free videos. Look at their online catalog. Or give them a call at 1-800-409-5633. Again, 800-409-5633. Or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com. Take action today. The first step is getting storable food. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you again about a company that has supported us in the truth movement for years. Inner Health Botanicals. This company produces the highest quality superfood around, called Inner Food. My wife just loves the stuff. And now the health ranger, Mike Adams, has awarded Inner Food his Editor's Choice Award for Best Superfood of 2009. Inner Food is loaded with 20 great organic ingredients. No fillers, no sweeteners. It would be impossible to blend this up for a better price, and their formula really works. This is the real thing for the great health you need. Try the Nutra Cafe, their great organic coffee infused with polysaccharides that boost the immune system. A truly healthy coffee that tastes great. And take it from me, folks, it really does taste great. Don't forget to try their other great products. Go to www.enerfood.com. That's www.enerfood.com. Or just click on their banner on Infowars.com for special pricing. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones, and I want each of you to ask yourself this question. Do you really know what's in your tap water? In a recent study conducted by a major environmental auditor, they found that over 260 chemicals and pollutants are present in municipal drinking water. Many of these chemicals are directly linked to cancer, reproductive, immune, and developmental system diseases. Now, what are you going to do about it? The Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator is a low-cost way to take back control of you and your family's drinking water. The Ecola Blue 28 produces up to 7 gallons of water from the humidity in the atmosphere and uses state-of-the-art carbon filtration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet light sterilization techniques. That's right, clean water right from the air you breathe. Order today by calling 1-800-691-6043. That's 1-800-691-6043. Or visit Ecola Blue on the web at www.ecoloblu.com today. That's EcolaBlue.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
1-800-259-9231 if you'd like to talk to Dr. Rand Paul, son of Ron Paul, running for U.S. Senate out of Kentucky. I think destiny is he's going to run. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. But he said the next 2 weeks you'll hear the main announcement. But Dr. Rand Paul, let's go over the most important issues right now. I was asking you during the break what you think's most important, and you made the point that they did it. That the private Federal Reserve made this debt. They created this system, and you went back to Andrew Jackson. Go over that.
Well, the interesting thing is that I think the two are always linked, and particularly when people try to sort of make us outside the mainstream about talking about the Fed, is I say the Fed is the debt. The way we pay for the debt is by monetizing it, printing new money, and they go hand in hand. Because we have a large debt, we give up a lot of control and power to the Federal Reserve that we wouldn't have to do if we didn't run a large debt. So they're two sides of the same coin. In fact, when Andrew Jackson ran hard against the second bank, he said the national debt is not a national blessing but a national curse, in as much it is calculated to gather around the administration a moneyed aristocracy keen and dangerous to the republic. And I think that's really important, that it is the debt, but it's also the Federal Reserve, and they're two sides of the same coin.
Well, really, the fight against the private offshore central banks has been the perpetual fight since before this country was even born, from the moment it was conceived, right through the 7 years of revolutionary conflict against the British Crown until today. And I guess they won the beachhead in 1913 and have been strangling us and using us as their engine for world domination ever since. And I believe they've overreached now in their greediness to sacrifice the United States and run up our national credit card to fund their global operations, in their own words, and that they've overreached. I mean, inexorably, we feel the momentum shift against them as now the general public knows the Federal Reserve's private. They know it's above the law. They know it's criminal. And now it's not just your father getting in the face of Bernanke or Greenspan. Now it's the majority of the congressmen and senators. Now it's the pundits. These guys are more and more on the run, and we feel the momentum, the pendulum, shifting directions. Do you see that? Do you feel that, Dr. Paul?
Yeah, I think one of the most amazing things, and one thing we can take great solace in after this election, is that the last time Bernanke was on with my father in the committee, you can truly see fear in his eyes. They are afraid that there will be oversight of the Federal Reserve, the first major oversight or change in the legislation since it originated in 1913, and they fear it. They've hired $1 million lobbyist. The lobbyist that used to be the lobbyist for Enron is now going to be the lobbyist for the Fed, and they are fearful that they are losing the momentum and there could actually be a real audit.
They're going to pull out every stop, though. They're openly threatened Congress, as you know, with physical martial law last October. We had the congressman here on air. People couldn't believe it. And now they're writing articles going, yes, no, there will be martial law if you don't do whatever we say. And if you ever audit the Fed, there's going to be a depression. So, I mean, this is literally a gun to our head saying if you ask too many questions, bang, your economy's dead. Is that not financial terrorism, Dr. Paul?
Well, they're also threatening. They say, if you audit the Fed, that will raise interest rates. Well, looking at the numbers and transparency does nothing to the interest rates or even really to their policy. Well, we want them not to have this expansionist policy of, easy credit and easy money and low interest rates, just looking at their books does nothing to